is Caitlin Tamayo, and this is our topic. It's all about Chapter 12, Dealing with Resisting and the Future of Globalization. In this topic, there are three approaches to dealing with economic globalization. So, first is the protectionism. It refers to the economic policy or practice of restraining trade between countries by imposing tariffs, quotas, or other restrictions of imported goods and uh, services. So it is a strategy used by the governments to protect domestic industries from the foreign competitions and promote local economic growth. So the second is fair trade. So it is an approach to economic globalization that aims to promote social environmental sustainability as well as improve the livelihoods of producers and developing countries. It is based on the principles of equity, transparency, and respect for workers' rights and environment. So the last one is helping the bottom billion. It refers to the efforts aimed to addressing the challenges faced by the world's poorest and most marginalized populations in the context of economic globalization. So if there are economic globalization, there are also political globalizations. First is accountability. It refers to the responsibility of governments, organizations, and individuals for their actions and decisions in the context of global affairs. Second is transparency. It refers to openness, accessibility, and clarity in the decisions making process of global political entities. The third one is Transparency International. It is non-governmental organization toward the combating corruption worldwide. It plays a crucial role in addressing transparency issues related to the political globalization.
My topic is all about resisting globalization. Resisting globalization has created enemies and generated resistance for innumerable reasons. One broad view on this is that resistance has promises. So, ang resisting globalization kay pwedeng pwedeng kuan siya kalanggikan sa mga iba't ibang dahilan. Magsilbi na siyang kahadlok sa mga tawo or pangamba sa mga tawo nga mawala ang kultura ug ang pagkakilanlan sa nasod o pagduha-duha sa epekto sa lokal nga ekonomiya ug trabaho. Napoy uban tawo nga nag-resist sa globalisasyon tungod sa ilahang kahadlok tungod sa ilahang pagtuos ug sa pangangalaga sa kalikasan ug tutulpod sila sa sobrang nga consumerismo. So next is the local resistance. The local resistance is the action of local groups or communities face several limitations in their chances of having an impact on globalization above. So, ang social resistance kay mao ni siya tawag sa mga tawo nga musukol or musupak sa mga tawo nga naa sa grupo sa nga na, nga grupo sa mga gobyerno. But gibuhat ra nila para depensahan ilang kaugalingon if ever nga naay buhaton sa ilaha nga below the belt or something like that. So ibuhaton na nila kay naa sila'y katungod. Next is a social movement. Donatella Della Porta, along with several colleges, studied two specific Italian protests against globalization. Social movement has the following characteristics: networks of groups and activities with an emerging identity involved in conflictual issues using mainly unconventional forms of participation. So, ang social movement kay murag mao ni siya silbing nga way para masolusyonan ang isa ka issue sa isa ka lugar. Like na ay mga group of people nga magbuhat sila organization para mutabang sa mga tawo like sa mga poor or kanang mga walay kalaban-laban sa gobyerno, and also like kanang magbuhat sila organization para sa discrimination or something like that. Next is moral formal social movement. Those who resist globalization often use globally similar philosophical, bureaucratic, and technological defenses. As a result, over the long term, they homogenize societies even further through globally similar struggles for recognition of self-discrimination. So, ang moral formal social movement kay mao ni siya ang grupo sa organisasyon nga naay mga klaro nga struktura. So, mao ni ang mga tawo ni nagbuhat sila og organisasyon or grupo sa para para sa pagbag-o sa ilahang lugar or para sa pag-face sa mga challenges sa ilahang lugar. So there is a question here that is the resistance to globalization significant? For me, yes. Importante gid kayo ang resistance sa atuang globalization. Kay naay ubang tawo porket naay kapit sa mga gobyerno or nagtrabaho dito kay na kay abusaran na ang mga tawo nga naa sa ubos or kanang mga walay kalaban-laban. So angay jud and importante ang resistance globalization. And dapat jud na ay mga organisasyon nga magbuhat og mga something ing-ani nga mga organisasyon.
Good morning, everyone. The Future of Globalization. According to Jadelio, we close this book with a brief discussion of the future of globalization in 2007. Although, as the heading makes clear, we are thinking about a complex scenario that involves multiple futures for multiple globalization. Turner 2007, 695-92. To put in another way, since there is no single globalization, there can be no single future for it. But just as in the preceding section of this chapter, we have only been able to discuss of the methods of dealing with and resisting globalization. We can only touch on a few aspects of the future of a few globalizations. It would simply be impossible to offer an overview of the future of economic, political, educational, religious, sport, urban, rural, and demographic, to mention just a few globalizations. Complicating matters is the fact that each of these broad areas encompasses a number of more specific globalizations. For example, under the heading of the economy, we could the future of the new liberal economy. New liberal economy. For example, under the heading of the economy, we could the future of the new liberal economy, MNCS, the labor movement, consumption, and the economies of China, India, and the US, AU, and on and on, and on and on. And Mad Max scenario. A Mad Max scenario, at the most extreme one, observer foresees a global future that he calls a Mad Max. a Mad Max scenario. This refers to a movie that dealt with an apocalyptic version of the future with people thrown back into primitive and extremely violence one of life. Thank you. So the future of globalization is a topic that is widely debated and can have different perspectives. While it is challenging to predict the exact trajectory of globalization, those are several key trends and potential scenarios that can shape its future, such as technological advancement, changing geopolitical landscapes, environmental considerations, inclusive and globalization, equitable globalization, regionalization and regional integration, and cultural exchange and diversity. Uh, it is an important to note that the future of globalization is not predetermined, and choices made by governments, businesses, and individuals that extent to which globalization continues to evolve, and its impact on different aspects of society will depend on how these factors interact. Refers to this Mad Max scenario. Mad Max scenario refers to this dystopian and post-apocalyptic world inspired by the movie uh, franchise Mad Max. Franchise Mad Max. In this scenario, society has collapsed, and law and order have disintegrated, leading to a chaotic and lawless environment. The future of globalization. According to Zedelio, the future of globalization. According to Zedelio, we close this book with a brief discussion of the future of globalization in 2007. Although, as the heading makes clear, we are thinking about a complex scenario that involves multiple futures of multiple globalization. Turner, 2007, 695-92. To put it another way, since there is no single globalization, there can be no single future for it. But just as in the preceding section of this chapter, uh, we have only been able to discuss of the methods of dealing with and resisting globalization. We can only touch on a few aspects of the future of a few globalization.